What's up guys, Grout here, and welcome back to 100 Drops of Apex Legends, the series where we drop every POI in the game on all 5 maps 100 times each in a row. For each drop we track 3 primary stats, kills, damage, and wins. At the end of all 100 games, we total those numbers, average them out, and compare them to my averages so far in this season and get a gauge for how well I performed. And along the way we take a look at each POI's history, layout, and advantages and disadvantages to hopefully improve your understanding of the POI and the game of Apex itself. This is episode and POI 9 out of 100, and today we're headed to the most recent map introduced into the Apex games for the first time in the series, Broken Moon. Now, we just did a hot drop, or the hot drop, last episode with Fragment, so I wanted to go somewhere a little quieter to balance that out today. I dropped Atmostation 100 times in a row. This is what I learned.
You're shooting a little bit too high. Little. There, nice. Boom. How? He's cheating. No.
As always, let's begin with the history of the POI. And as will be the case for most of Broken Moon, there isn't much of it yet, since the map itself was only added to the game in Season 15. The map is still in its original 1.0 form at the time of making this video, and as such, Atmostation is one of the original 16 POIs on the map. Moving to its composition, it is located on the southern border of the map, just below Terraformer. Its main feature is the central tower, which boasts the POI's ultimate height and a considerable amount of floor loot to boot. Underneath the central tower, there's a couple of floor loot patches and some pills, and there are also these 2 identical sets of houses a short ways away. Between the 2 houses, there are 3 water containers that each have a few pills to loot, and the back of the POI on the southern border of the map, there are a few zip rail stations that have some floor loot in them as well. Next, I'm going to go over how you can expect most contests at this POI to play out, and from there you can determine where you might prefer to land based on that information and your goals within the game, whether it be to play slow or fast, or prioritize kills or wins. In a multi-team contest, there will likely be an initial fight for ultimate height. It will not be uncommon to see 2 to 3 teams vying for the upper platform, and thus control over the POI within the first couple seconds of the drop, whether it be by landing there directly or landing on the ground and taking the zips up. Once this initial skirmish has started to fizzle, and 1 or 2 teams remain, possibly injured or missing teammates, the vultures tend to swoop in from the houses to clean up, and typically 1 team will be left remaining, with most of the fighting happening in and around the central tower. Occasionally you'll get a hard contest if you land houses and have to fight a team over there, and also on occasion the teams who landed at the central tower can look to get aggressive and push the houses quickly to try and catch the vultures while they're still doing their initial looting. It's up to you how you want to play at this POI, favoring an aggressive playstyle and taking advantage of the kill opportunity of the tower, or playing slower and prioritizing a little more stability at the houses. Looking at rotations from the POI, I'll again give 2 recommended rotates, one for an aggressive playstyle and one for a more passive one. Aggressive players will want to head straight to Terraformer from Atmo, looking to clean up the scraps of the contest over there, and from there should head right to Promenade to look for even more action. A slower playstyle might favor taking the back zip rail over to Bionomics to loot there, and then further up to the Divide for more loot, or wherever zone may pull you. But that's just about everything you need to know about the history of and composition of Atmostation. Let's get into what you came here for, the 100 drops themselves. This is 100 straight drops of Atmostation.
You are both IGLs.
I think so, yeah.
Let's start off with an example of my suggested aggressive rotate in action. Drop 80 saw us have Atmo for free, so we popped a quick rotate to Terraformer and picked up 3 kills for absolutely free.
We're about to third this perfectly.
All dead. After cleaning out Terraformer, we finished rotating finally to Promenade, where we're able to take advantage of another third-party opportunity.
Be careful. Heal. Nice. Yeah, we played that. Oh my god.
Unfortunately, our game comes to an abrupt end after we get a taste of our own medicine.
It's that timing.
Now, if you like the look of that, I'm about to do you one better. This is the Pupid rotate. If you can find an evac tower at Atmo, you can place it on ultimate height and actually clear this mountain, landing right at the center of Terraformer, which can lead to great opportunities for aggressive plays.
Shit, right on top of us.
Check this out. Oh my god, God ult. God ult. Literally a God ult. Oh my god. On drop 98, we attempted to adopt a pet.
Ibby's one.
Don't shoot, don't shoot.
Wait.
Don't shoot, don't shoot,
Yeah.
don't shoot. He's a friend.
Teabag.
He's a friend. Oh, kill the Gibby, but don't kill his friend. Oh, here he is. On drop 83, I threw the best nade of my career. Oh! And finally, on drop 100, my duo and I pull off a textbook early push to the houses on Atmostation, which lets us dictate the fight and ultimately win the contest for the POI.
Right below me.
Oh, I was gonna punch him. Is that another team? Yeah, it is. Q in 1, 0. I had a drop.
38 flash on one also.
Taking fire.
They're here.
I'm dead.
Recharging shields.
This Octane's a goober. Octane hasn't had sex in years. He hasn't had sex in years. Be careful.
Now, to conclude this 100 drops experience, as always, let's take a look at the stats of the drops and see what they tell us. Here are our averages from this season, so we have a baseline to compare to. And now, looking at our stats from Atmostation, this POI blows anything we've ever seen so far on this series out of the water. Our average kills per game over our 100 Atmo drops was a big ol' 2.49. Compare that to our seasonal average of 1.92. Damage was also up by a similar margin, albeit not quite as much, and win rate saw the biggest jump of them all, increasing by 4.41% over our seasonal average. In fact, all three stat categories have now seen the biggest improvement over our seasonal stats here at Atmostation, crowning our first Broken Moon POI as hands down the best one featured in this series so far. So what was the cause for this massive improvement? Well, for one, it's getting late into Season 17 now, and theoretically the later into the season I drop these episodes, the better our stats will become, as we've had more time to improve as the season goes on. Another factor is the game modes we played. Here's the breakdown for that. As you can see, I played the majority of my 100 Atmo drops in the Duos mode. Now, if you've been following this series for a while now, you'll know I have a history of bad performance in the Duos mode. But as of recently, we seem to have gotten over the hump, and have been starting to play a lot better in this mode. Additionally, I think Atmostation has a very favorable location on the map. When the dropship angle is good, and Atmo is first off the ship, you have a recipe for a pop-off game if you follow the aggressive rotate I recommended earlier, as the rotate will run you through the majority of the lobby's drop spots. If it's a bad angle and it's far, you still have the Terraformer rotate, which will almost always have at least some kill opportunity. Finally, my brother Cupid and I, who I played the majority of my non-solo queue games with, have a pretty good understanding of how Broken Moon plays by now, having spent a lot of time grinding it and ranked in my old Disaster to Masters series in Season 15. But that was everything I learned from 100 straight drops at Atmostation. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the 100 Drops of Apex Legends playlist on screen right now, which has all the episodes I've released so far, and subscribe for the next 91 POIs. See you next time for our first trip to Stormpoint.